We've been working in the Kitengela area for the last few years, and we've been trying to better understand the livelihood strategies that households are pursuing. In other words, what are households doing in order to earn income, and then how well are they doing?
The project began in the year 2003, and the issues were problems of the decline in wildlife and the changes in the land use and the impacts on their livelihoods. And what we wanted to do in this particular project is to see how we could improve their livelihoods, both in terms of getting the livestock numbers up, but also trying to see that they could get some income from their wildlife that they had been keeping for many years. And the main issue was to try and link researchers and the communities to try and see how information could be shared.
This is the oldest park in East Africa and also in Kenya.
The only thing that is stopping the city to go into the park is the fencing that has been done on the other end.
And being next to a capital city, this park faces a lot of challenges. Nairobi National Park has the second largest migration of animals in this country, and that's why we have to leave the migratory corridors unfenced. So the land surrounding the park has been communal land for a long time. But I think we have reached a point where individuals are starting to own this land.
After privatization, we have seen change of hands in terms of land ownership. People sell land. I get my piece, I sell to an investor, and tomorrow I have lost. There comes up a fence that impede movement of livestock and wildlife. He's saying that this is the biggest threat for us, the pastoralists and wildlife in Kitengela. We only have that river down there, the Mpagathi River, and livestock and people want water. And if we fence all along the park, then it means that we are denying community water, and we are denying the wildlife the bigger constituency that they need for grazing. So it's kind of strengthening the rich and weakening the poor. We can see the Kitengela town, it's encroaching into pastoral areas, wildlife areas, and this is a serious challenge, and that's why we need to plan. This was a piece of land sold or leased out, and the person who has invested in this kind of quarrying work is not a Maasai. And the people who work here are from across the country.
In this particular work in Kitengela, we had organization from the government, Kenya Wildlife Services being there, Department of Resource Surveys that has been working on monitoring of the wildlife, the physical planning, really working with the communities in terms of training them, empowering them, and also sharing a lot of the research findings. And this research finding, the community have used it now to try and get all other actors together to come and address one common problem.
The Wildlife Conservation Lease Program has partly been supported by the World Bank, the Kenya Wildlife Service, African Wildlife Foundation, the Nature Conservancy of the US, and it's being implemented by the Wildlife Foundation and Friends of Nairobi National Park and the Kenya Wildlife Service in partnership. And at the moment, we have written a proposal that has gone to the highest level with the World Bank through the GF that are going to fund the program for sustainability. So this is a program that is supported by the community, where now the local community are a very strong foot soldier here in conserving wildlife and these other resources. So we have also seen a shift where the women control most of the revenue from the Wildlife Conservation Lease Program. And this money go to pay school fees and meet other immediate family needs. He's saying that the lease money is such a big thing in the family, especially where we have poor families, because during the extremely dry time when you cannot even sell the livestock, that money is there for you. The other thing again is that it has given poor families the opportunity to sell their children to school. It has also given an equal share of education opportunities to the girls, something that has not been seen before here. He's saying that first, the example is that he himself has got his daughter his first daughter has gone to the university, and she was getting the money from the LIS program. We have had an opportunity to tap the knowledge from the institute like ILRI. They supported this community. They trained 12 community young men and women, and they used the GPSs, they used the notebooks, they collected the data, and they came up with a map which was supported by the International Livestock Research Institute, the Kitengela community, the County Council of Kajiado, and the community went around to map all the fences. All these things are fenced areas. And also map the lands that are on the LIS program so that they can direct, their investment. They've also shown other land uses like quarrying, because we have an industrial area here. And this means land that is not now mainly in Maasai hands, because it has been sold by individuals. And this document has had a very big impact on the community at the local level and at the national level. At the moment, we have a push by other partners, the government of the Republic of Kenya, to come up with a zoning plan, because we need to have land use plans within this area. And this is the basis of our engagement as a community to the policymakers, to the other institutions, to the donor community, to say that this is the information we have, this is how the ground looks like, so now we can, direct, intervention programs so that they address the issues that are here. And out of this map, the government has come up with a proposal to zone this area. There is also the other need to come up with cultural villages like this one, which can tap the tourism potential from the park, and at the same time empower the women, and also to try and let this community sustain their culture with some kind of, economic aspect in it.
We've been actually studying areas across Kenya and Tanzania, and we've learned that the way you do the research is as important as the research itself. And we've been working with community members who are both researchers and facilitators, who have helped us link so that the research is being driven by the questions that the community members have, whether it be about animal health strategies or breed strategies. How are they getting revenues from wildlife conservation? We've also found that small-scale cropping is largely unsuccessful, that many of these households are actually losing money. And the income that some of the households are earning from wildlife-related conservation has actually been very important. However, it's still a small number of households in the scheme of things.
And one of the objective was to see how they could improve their land through changes of policies. And I think that is the biggest achievement we've had in terms of changing the policy. It means changing the attitudes of both the community, the attitudes of policymakers, and also bringing a lot of stakeholders together. You need quite a number of different actors, both researchers, community, development agencies, and also the government to be together.
Hallelujah.